So it's been a minute since we've been into Car Dealer Simulator, right? We've got 2 playlists on this channel, and they have been busy, dude. These developers have been putting a lot of work into this game. There's been devlogs like multiple times a week sometimes, and they are releasing their Up to You DLC on June 4th, and it's bringing so much to the table. I happen to have an early copy, and I've thought about booting up my old save, the one that's already developed and it's already kind of maxed out-ish, or at least it was, and just showing you the new content. But to be honest, I don't remember a whole lot what was going on. I feel like I'll be a little bit disconnected from the game, and I actually feel like I could have some fun going through it again, because there's a lot of changes that have happened to the game even before you get to the maxed out level. The DLC's content, right, is... the DLC's content is for a more late game approach. It kind of unlocks most of that stuff when you get your place to like rank reputation 10. So it takes a little bit of time, but it's like a mid-game, late-game thing. So once we get to reputation 10, we'll start experiencing a lot of that stuff. But in the meantime, better changes have happened too. They've more than doubled the number of models available in the game, I think.
Hey kid, Little Sam here. Are you on your way to the shop? We don't have time to waste.
So I'm probably going to skip a lot of his dialogue, not all of it, but I probably will skip a lot of it because we kind of already know it already. But I'm not a person who's going to assume that you've seen the previous playlist, okay? So if you're like, if this is the first time you've ever seen the game and you want to have a proper introduction to it without being skipping things, I'm not going to skip anything. You're going to be fine. But some of this dialogue is very tutorial heavy, so I'm going to skip some of that stuff.
You took way too long. Good thing you're here. I had to step out and take care of something. But I've got your first job. I found an amazing deal. The client's already on board, so everything's set. See that towing trailer in the yard? Grab it and go pick up that piece of mechanical beauty. You know the deal. It's a chunk of junk. But if you fix it right, we'll pull some cash out of it. Don't waste time. Get moving.
All right, I am going to kind of zip through traffic here.
Nice job, kid. Listen, the deal with this client is all set. Now we just need to pick up the car.
So now he wants me to fuel up my truck, which it's already full of fuel, but the tutorial wants me to do it, so we're going to do it. It's introducing me to refueling the truck. I'm pretty sure the gas cap is on the other side of the vehicle. It is. That's fine. I'm just going to, go around the other side. So just take the cover off, pop this in, and I'm just going to tell it to autofill. It's fine. 2.6 gallons of gas. There we go. And all set. So let's go pick up the car now. And it's over at the motel. So this is Winston Springs. If you haven't seen it before, we're going to be spending quite a bit of time here in Winston Springs this year. Not just with Car Dealer Simulator, but also this is the town where Police Chief Simulator is coming in as well. You'll be able to see, not that street, but the next street. We'll see the police station just down the road. And actually, we get police cars like wandering around here too. But there's the police station from Police Chief Simulator right there. So we have, they're the same town, and it's going to be fun to play both games. And I mean, they don't really intermix with each other. Like, I don't think I'm going to see my actual dealership developed, in Police Chief Simulator. That stuff's not going to happen. But it's kind of cool that multiple games are in the same place. I can dig that. All right, so kind of pulling out into traffic here. I have the traffic doubled. So there's a couple of settings that they've introduced now. And one of them is traffic intensity. Normally it's at 1.0. I've jacked it up to 2.0 because I feel like this place needs to be alive, all right? I'm kind of imagining this town to be kind of similar to what I would imagine Radiator Springs sort of thing would be, right? From Cars, where you got like the Route 66 vibe, where you have like a major highway over there, major highway that way, and people are just passing through, but they can stop into this small town. This town here actually really reminds me of my hometown. I grew up in a pretty small town too, so I wanna see more cars coming through here, basically. All right, I'm not imagining most of the vehicles I'm gonna see are residents of Winston Springs, but if I could imagine that they're travelers passing through or something, that would make me happy.
Did you pick up that beauty? Listen, don't worry about the mechanics, but make sure you clean it up with the pressure washer and snap a few good pics. Remember, if it's going to sell, it needs to shine.
All right, so we're just going to drop this off. And then we'll just kind of leave the truck here for now, I think. And then we go forward with washing our car again. Yeah. So let's spray all this soapy stuff on there. There are going to be some things in this game that I absolutely skip for you. I have to do them, but I skip them in the video for you. But the initial times in which I do them, I always show them in full. So it's like one of those things where you've already seen this like 5-6 times already. You don't need to see it again. So things like washing cars, I'm probably not going to show them all the time. I'm probably not going to, include them in the video all the time, but the first time, for sure. Let's go ahead and get the water. And for getting all the soap and stuff off with the water, it's cool to use the scanner because it kind of shows you all the yellow places is sort of like where you haven't gotten yet. So we'll use the scanner for that. I don't really use the scanner all the time for every purpose, but there are definitely some times where it is helpful. And rinsing off a car is one of those times because it gets a little bit picky on, you got to get all of it. Although I think they've really tuned that down. So I don't actually think you need to get very close anymore. But like when this game first was coming out, look at when it was first introduced and I was playing initially, like my first run, you had to get like all of it. So they definitely toned it down, and that's good. Okay, let's get this in position. If you're looking for a little background on me, by the way, if you haven't heard of me or this is your first time in the channel, that's cool. I used to work at a car dealership. I was in charge of their online inventory. My job was basically to get cars, stage them, take pictures of them, like this. Like a lot more pictures than just that, but yeah. And then I would examine every vehicle, used and new, but mostly used. And I would look for all the details so that I could put the proper features and stuff on the listings on their website. And I did that for a couple years. I also had a little bit to do with like integrating that kind of stuff and working with the sales department, but I didn't personally sell cars, but I know a little bit more than an average person on the tactics and things that people use to sell cars. Yeah. Okay. So on that note, we're going to go into our car shop and we need to list this car for sale. So let's go down here and let's get these two photos. And the interfaces and stuff have changed, right? We've seen that since the last video or since the last series we had before. So based on this, the market value is $54.54, but we can price it wherever we want. I'd like to price this fairly conservatively because this is the tutorial and I can get progress in getting better vehicles later if I am a little bit less greedy here. So I'm going to go $7,999 on this in hopes that I can sell it a lot faster. So let's go ahead and open up. And now the shop is open. So while we wait for someone to come by to buy this vehicle, I'm going to go ahead and wash the truck too, because the truck is dirty and I want it to be cleaner. I think this trailer is in a really bad spot though. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. That's not it. That's not it. Get out. Get out of there. Okay, so let's put you back here. Back you into place. And I'll just start washing this one too. Get this. This is my truck. I didn't have to pay for it, right? You start with a vehicle. But we're definitely going to sell it. This, because of Up to You, because of that DLC and us giving like a lot of personalization stuff, it's not just with the cars. It's going to give us the ability to really personalize our dealership more too. But we're also going to be able to work with the interiors on the cars, tuning them up and all that stuff. And so I am going to have like a personal vehicle that we work on and we try to make, really cool. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but they have a lot more vehicles in the game now than the last time I played. I don't know if it's really true that they've doubled the number since the last time I played, but I feel like it has been. Like they've been adding a lot of vehicles. So we should have a pretty diverse lineup here. They've also added a ton of achievements. I was very close to actually getting all the achievements before, and now I feel like I barely played the game. There's so many extra achievements because they've basically added one, like a sales number achievements for essentially every vehicle make and model or whatever, right? So there's a lot more to do there now. So we got some people looking at the car over there on the lot, and any minute now we're gonna see a a window pop up talking about negotiations, and we'll see that there's a customer waiting. We'll have a little sound effect, and then on the left side of the screen, we'll see customer waiting 1. That's what will happen once, you know, somebody's actually interested in buying the car. I actually think I need to pick up, yeah, I'm gonna have to pick up another car here, so let's go ahead and make sure we get that dolly mount back. And we're just gonna go like that. There we go. Maybe it's this guy. A lot of people are not going to be happy with the price. They're going to look at the car and walk away. So if we price it a little more conservatively, more into that green zone, we'll have more people interested in it. But if you wait long enough, eventually you will get someone who is willing to at least negotiate with you for the price. So $7,999 is in the yellow. So I figured I'd have someone already, but that's okay. If you're not familiar with the game, this eventually gets to be looking really professional. Big plays. This building gets very expanded. These two buildings start combining into one with like this area to drive underneath here. You get more bays. You get all this stuff renovated. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the game, and there's a lot to it where you can fix cars, for example. You can open them up and swap out parts that are bad and put new ones in. And I think with Up to You, with tuning and stuff being a thing, I'm assuming you can put upgraded parts and not just replacements for the OEM parts. I'm not sure why this truck all of a sudden has, this is like, those movies where like the lowriders, you get like the lowriders in the Hispanic neighborhoods where they're all like bouncing on hydraulics and stuff. I feel like it's kind of reminding me of that this truck just bounces up and down. Okay, I'm going to zoom you guys ahead to the part where someone's actually interested in buying this car, because for whatever reason, you know what? I bet it's this one. Look at her. She is definitely interested in this vehicle. That is your vehicle, miss. Look at this. This is definitely for you. Come back here. I'm trying to sell you this car. You need one. I mean, look at you. You can get so many places with this. Have you seen that trunk? See, she's at least willing to negotiate. All you gotta do is talk to him, Okay, so she's initially going to propose $49.90. The market value for this is $54.54, so clearly don't want to do that. But we can knock our price down a little bit, see if we can get her to budge a little bit. So why don't we come down to like, say, $7,500 or so? Okay, so we've boosted her up to almost $5,900. Not bad. At least we're over the market rate now. We can come down just a little bit. 64, and then if we come down just a little bit more, we can get her at 65. And you only have 3 chances. This is kind of how negotiation works in the game, and that's it. Now, if we have any other types of things we could give her as an incentive, I believe that's still in the thing. Maybe they've taken that out of the game. I don't have them in my inventory, but there are certain things, like you used to be able to give guys like cigarettes or something, and they would be more willing to work with you. I don't know if that's still in the game or not. But either way, we have $6,500 for this, and that's well above the market value. So I think that's good.
Great job. Well, kid, you really nailed it today. Did you see that reputation boost after the sale? Keep it up. The higher your reputation, the thicker your wallet. And that's what we're really playing for, right?
Yeah, exactly, Sam. Okay, so he's going to tell me that I've earned a rest today and I need to go into the couch. So we're just going to end our day by going to here. And we can wake up at 8 o'clock, or we can wake up at 7. I don't really care at this particular moment, but I'm not going to min-max the days quite as much as I did last time.
Well rested? I was thinking, since you're doing such a great job boosting our reputation in town, maybe it's time to work on our image a bit too. Did you see that old sign above the entrance? Exactly. It could use a little upgrade. Something fresh to catch the eye.
Yeah. So we're going to go into brand customization. I'm not going to get super deep into this, but I'm just going to go with priority cars. I think priority cars is what we called our last one, and I'm all right with it still too. So priority cars is here. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time with the fonts and the decorations and stuff. They don't give you color wheels and stuff yet. It's still just one color at a time thing. That's kind of brutal. Also, it doesn't appear as though the order stays, because I can't find that red again, so I guess we'll just use this orange. And we're just going to leave it. Maybe like a dark sign. I don't know if I like that. I can't decide if I like that. If there was like a black color, I might consider it. That is not what we want. All right, I just want to go back to the way it was. Here, maybe it'll be this. Priority cars. That's fine. All right, so we'll have that.
All right, that should do it. I'll wire you some money through MobiCash. Find yourself a good enough ride and make a deal. We'll see how much more we can squeeze out of it.
All right, so he just gave us $3,000. So now we want to go in here and we want to try to make a deal for a car. So this isn't a scripted car per se, but it's still part of the tutorial. And there's going to be, you know, we're not going to get a ton of money for it. So I'm just going to look at like one of these cheaper ones here. This looks fine. It's basically the same thing. I do want one that has poor visual condition, because these are ones that I can make an improvement to them. And that means I can make more money with them. So why don't we go in and we'll get this one for now. You can have this one be the story, the story car. There we go. And then we need to go and find that one and pick it up. So we are looking at oh man, it's right there. You know, I would take the truck, but since it's right here, the fence is in my way though. Since it's right here, I think I'll just drive it. It's in poor visual condition, but it is working mechanically. So I don't really need to take the truck and the trailer over here. I'll just walk over here and do it. Okay, so we can talk to this person. They've got this car. It looks pretty, yep, definitely poor visual condition. Let's see what they want for it. All right, so $4,050. This is what the initial market value was, but I'm going to lowball you to $2,700. She's going to come down to 33. Not bad. I'm going to go up to, let's see, 28. Okay, can I get you under 3 by chance? You know what? Close enough. So we're going to grab that. She's very happy about it. So am I. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring this into the mechanical shop over here, and we're going to scan it. We're going to see exactly what it's worth based on our scan results. So we're going to move the car right up into here. There we go.
How's the client? I hope he wasn't whining too much. All right, let's take a look at that beauty and see what needs fixing. There's a scanner on the table. Just run it over and you'll know exactly what's going on under the hood. No BS. Tech doesn't lie.
So we can see the market value in its current condition. The market value for this vehicle is $39.63. So already we had a pretty good purchase, but it'll be much more improved once we do this work. We're also seeing some other elements from the DLC added here. Top speed, acceleration, handling, and braking, as well as some indicators in terms of like whether this is an improvement on the base value or it's damaged from the base value. And then there's also multiple tabs up here now. So we have summary screens in here where we can kind of see which different profits and stuff that we might have had for different expenses. And we can also sort of add missing parts and add anything like with one-click options instead of having to go through each individual part for every single car. So they've made improvements on things like this, right? There's tire pressure stuff now. It's interesting. Let's go ahead and see what Sam has to say.
It's worth checking the exhaust on cars. Holy ones sputter, and the profit will disappear faster than you think. Grab some repair tape, patch that thing up, and the car will run like new. And us? We'll save a few bucks. And that's what this business is all about.
Okay. You need to get out of my way, sir. Okay, I realize I'm not coming out of my actual exit, but it's just because I'm a bad driver, and, you know, you need to be wary of me. All right, defensive driving teaches you to get out of my way, right? That's how that works. There's the police station. I can't wait to play that game, man. That police chief simulator looks like it's going to be really cool. I'm just hoping that the demo is an accurate portrayal of is giving me an accurate sense of hope. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see. So let's go in here. We're going to buy some parts, and we're going to head to here first and buy some exhaust tape. And I think I'll just probably get like 3 of them, maybe 4 of them. I'm going to be using this a lot probably. So let's go 5. The more tape we buy, the less cars we can buy, because it's just like we're spending it on tape. But I think we'll be all right with 5. It's going to be fine. All right, let's pull out of here. And this vehicle always has 2 holes in its exhaust because, again, it's a story car. But in the future, we'll have to scan for things like this, and we won't necessarily be able to find them, you know, as easy as it just simply being given to us. And so I've got the tape to help with that too. But all problems that potential buyers can see or experience, like a loud muffler. These are all things that reduce the perceived value of the vehicle, which in turn will actually reduce the actual value we can get for it when they go to buy it. Okay, so now we're going to go in and make mechanical repairs. And so this is another part of the game that we'll be getting into too. This gets pretty deep. It can anyway. So we're going to go to the repair screen. And in our inventory, we have the tape. So right now we can really only address this part because that's what we've got. But eventually we'll be able to, jack the car up and be able to swap out wheels and tires and brakes and do all sorts of stuff like that. We can change a few things under the hood and, really just get into it once we improve our place to be able to handle those types of things. As of right now, though, it really only lets you handle the catalytic converter here. So we're just going to find the holes. There we go. And patch them up.
Good riddance. But don't fool yourself. It ain't permanent. We could fix those parts, but we'd have to drop some cash on a workshop. Well, we do what we can with what we got.
All right. So now it wants me to wash it.
Speaking of, there's a junkyard just outside Winston Springs. If you find some time, check it out. Maybe you'll find something worthwhile there. Just don't mention nothing to the clients, all right?
All right, so the value of this car has already jumped to $44.31, so the tape is definitely worth it. But now we're going to handle the washed and bodywork visual condition parts, because that's the part that we can really actually influence at this stage of the game. So we're going to start washing this car too. And I got a little bit too far away from it there. Nope, go like this. And again, there are going to be some parts that that I show you or that I don't show you, just depending on how often you've seen it already. So we'll have a lot of stuff that kind of gets skipped over time. But for the first few here, I'm just trying to get back into the game, get you guys settled in, and I know that the first time we played this game, it had quite a pretty good reception. So we'll see whether or not that reception is still there, whether you guys are still interested in it or not. But I'm telling you, once we get to Reputation 10, this game's going to open up now with this DLC, and there's a lot of stuff that's in it, and I'm really looking forward to experiencing all that stuff too, getting into the really fine details of each car and stuff. It's going to be what can we do with it, right? It's going to start asking that question of what can we do with this to make it more interesting and make it more appealing, and ultimately sell it for more money too.
Kid, that car might be clean, but the rust ruins the whole impression. Now, I wouldn't be as successful if I didn't know how to deal with it. Head back to the workshop. You'll find everything you need to get rid of that rusted beast. Oh, and look for a flashlight on the table. It might come in handy.
Okay, so we had the flashlight, yep. But there's a whole bunch of parts, a whole bunch of tools and stuff right here. We don't have to grab them from the bench. We can grab them from the wheel here too. So we have the rust and metal sandpaper. This is our initial sandpaper to get kind of all this rust and stuff off. So we're going to do this. And this is another screen where using the scanner is a really good idea. We found a really rusty one for our first car because we can have a major impact on it. Ideally, in the early game, if you want to make maximum value for your car, you want to make maximum profits for each car, you're looking for things that need a lot of problems that you can improve at a fairly cheap price. And in this case, the prices are labor. Yes, there is a way to optimize things to where you make more money per hour and stuff doing other things. But remember, this is a video game, and the video games are supposed to be fun. So if you enjoy doing body work, then you should. If you enjoy the mechanical work for the game, then you should, right? You should always do the parts of the game that you enjoy, because that is the entire reason to play it. So if you're into, I personally like to scrape the bodies of these cars. I find there to be a pretty good cathartic nature to it. Even with the power tools, it gets a little bit faster, of course, and I can start just doing like the whole car and not even really caring whether or not I'm hitting the exact rust. But with this little sandpaper here, then I'm a little bit more precise. And then, eventually it's just going to auto-complete, right? Because once you get far enough, it'll auto-complete for you. Progress on the vehicle as a whole to get that auto-completion is over on the left side of the screen. See like a little progress bar filling up over there on the remove rust and stuff meter there. So as I remove enough rust on the car, eventually that bar will fill up, and then it will just auto-complete the job for me. And then I can move on to stage 2 of fixing the body up. Probably on the back. Yeah, there's lots of stuff on the back bumper here. So I picked a really rusty one, which was intentional because it means I can really change the value of the car without any input cost other than my time. And if that time is, fun gameplay, then it's worth it, Almost done. It's not quite autocomplete. Oh, I missed this side. I missed the back part here. There we go. This should be enough to get that to trigger. There we go. All right, so stage 2 is the putty, the spatula. So we're going to have this stuff going through here. Just kind of get all of the fine little holes and dents and all the tiny little nicks and stuff and just fill them in. And then we can sand that down. And I just cannot look down there. Look down. We can sand it down and then paint it. Here we go. It's like a Bob Ross painting kind of situation, Just make some happy clouds. It's going to be like half of you not even knowing who Bob Ross is. That's going to be sad. It's going to be very sad when we get to a generation of people where the majority of people have never heard of Bob Ross. That's when I'll know. That's when I'll know that I am old. I used to watch that guy. Like, as a kid, it's weird, Because, like, you look at the kids today and they need fast, They need, like, rapid dopamine. Give me the stuff now, man. But, I mean, back then, when I say then, I mean, 35 years ago. 30, I mean, it's probably closer to like, 32 years ago for me. When I was 6 years old, okay, I would, watch Bob Ross. And I was just like, wow, that painting looks really cool. Like the picture, you look at the picture, mommy, that kind of thing. And it was just really cool. But I feel like Bob Ross would just be not necessarily something kids today could watch. I don't know. I'm going to see. I'm going to see. I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to put my kid in front of this. I'm not going to tell him anything ahead of time. And I'm going to say, hey, I got a video for you to watch. Just check this out and see if you like it. And we're just going to see what he says. Just going to see what he says. All right, let's turn the scanner on because I'm clearly missing the entire bottom bumper. Yes. And there we go. All right, that's done. Now we get to the finishing sandpaper where we get the right here, nice and white, ready for paint. There we go. Just get that right up in there. I'll do the bumper first so I don't forget it. There we go. Keep the camera locked. We can just go down the entire side of the car here. There we go. I like the rest of the sandpaper stuff. The initial sandpaper, you can scrape your entire car, but with this sandpaper, it only affects the spot you've already started working in. So you can be a little bit faster with all the other stages because you really don't have to worry about going too far or like, hitting parts of the car that don't need it, that kind of thing. I really do wish, though, that I could keep the camera on the car. I think I made a feature request a long time ago about how the camera reacts when you're working in the shop and stuff. Like you're constantly going back and forth with the mouse, but if you ever release it for any reason, or if you get too far away, or if you look or move the mouse a certain way, it can take you off of controlling the sandpaper and puts you on controlling the camera, and then it gets really jarry. You start doing that, and I don't like it, but there's very little I can do about it other than just going slower, I guess, and just being more methodical and going slower with everything. But when you're trying to get it done and over with, it kind of, you get in a hurry, Let's turn on the scanner because I've clearly forgotten something. Just those little pieces here. I have to be very close for the autocomplete by now. Maybe it's up here. There it goes. Okay, and then the final step is just painting it. And of course, we have the exact paint match, obviously, just in our pocket. Did you know? I mean, I already have it in my pocket. I didn't even have to buy it or anything. That's great. Let's just spray it right here. Bumper, good. And this car looks a lot better than it did when I brought it in, right? And so its perceived value, is literally going to go up now. Because people are going to be willing to pay more for a car that looks like this rather than a car that looks like the one I brought in. So that's great. Okay, let's just go ahead and I think that's probably good for now. We use the scanner to fill in the rest of this stuff. There we go. And then on this side, should I get lower? After I do this side, it probably should autocomplete for me. There we go. Okay. Cool. That's it. That's how it works. So now the car is ready. Ready to be sold. Yep. It's going to pop it right in this space here. Take another picture of it. And get it listed for sale. And this is, again, another story car. It's another tutorial car. So I'm not going to be super aggressive with pricing on this, because I do want it to sell fast, because it means I get to progress a little bit faster. So we'll go ahead and do that. And let's run in and get this thing for sale. Then we can start being a little bit more aggressive with some of the other cars in the shop, okay? So go to the ads, make a new ad. There we go. Get these two. And then I'm just going to maybe get this to about here. I think that's fine. All right. Now we have this event, this random event that can pop up where we have this vandal, okay? And this is like our competition. If you've ever played like Gas Station Simulator, this is like the kid that comes in and tries to mess with you. Except this guy will cause, problems in your lot with your cars and stuff. This can be toggled off, and I have it off, but it's only going to appear once because it's scripted to appear to show you that the feature exists. But you can go into the options and you can turn off the rival event. Disable special paint effects. Interesting. I wonder if that's the thing. Smoothing in vehicles. I have that on. It's fine. Anyway, you can turn that off there. And then if you turn the rival event off, then you won't get this guy, coming over and just randomly ruining your all the work you've done. Because I just don't find that feature to be very fun. And I just don't see a point in it being on. So, okay. Let's take our truck in here now. We're just going to do a really quick scan of this thing to see if there's anything we can do about it. Our truck is in amazing condition. It just needs some body work done. So that's what we're here for. So while we're waiting to sell that car, we can be doing some body work on our truck, because I'm going to list the truck for sale too. Yep. I'm going to list it for sale while it's in pristine mechanical shape. And then we're going to be looking for vehicles that are drivable anyway. So we'll end up using, much like, you might see dealerships, car dealers, they oftentimes are driving the cars that they're trying to sell. Or at least driving some of the used vehicles that they're trying to sell, right? You'll see dealer plates, for example, after a car dealer has been with the company for a while. They kind of move up in their little corporate ranks, if you will. And they can get themselves access to a dealer plate and drive around the cars, right? And so we can just do the same thing, right? If we're going to go pick up a car, we can just use a car from the lot. I don't need this truck. I can sell this truck. It's worth quite a lot of money. Because it's in such good mechanical shape, this car is actually worth quite a lot of money. So I'd rather use a cheaper one to haul things around than to use a truck that's worth like $15,000, right? So I'm just going to use this. I'm just going to sell this. We do have a customer waiting in the lot. And I probably, if I wanted to optimize my time a little bit, I probably should go and address him, because I can clean this and do this anytime. Or her. Hi. Yes. You're just going to take the price I listed it for. Okay. I accept. I guess we're reputation 3 now.
Got a client and the cash is in. Remember, it won't always be this smooth, but as long as you keep on top of things, you'll always come out ahead. Get back to work, because without more cars, there's no cash to be made.
Sweet. I'm already reputation 3.
We're on the right path, kid. But I think it's time to step up our game. Check the PC for some upgrades we can make to the business.
Yeah, there we go. That's why I needed to, if that can happen, it's a pretty low chance to happen, but it can happen where they just come in and they're willing to just buy it for the price that you have it listed for. And your reputation goes up based on your profit. So I made a pretty decent profit on that. And so my reputation just went up really high, really fast. So I do want to get some more cars before I start really investing in upgrades. I'm a person who would prefer to invest money in making money than to buy nice things. So I initially, anyway, I'm going to focus on spending money on inventory, and this truck is inventory. So we're going to do that because I can get this for sale with a fairly aggressive price. I think I'll probably list this for... Well, I don't actually know because I don't know the market value yet, but I'll probably try to see if I can get 15 grand for this. Which would be pretty good for my reputation too, because I think we didn't buy it at all. So that's just straight up profit. So it should help boost reputation too. I'm not sure how that works with your starter vehicle, to be honest, but we will see. So let's just get this putty put in here through here like this. And then we'll take a look at the PC like Uncle Sam wants, or Little Sam. I don't know. I'm going to call him Uncle Sam probably. I imagine he's probably my uncle. Let's just do this right here on the bumper. There is usually like music that plays, by the way, but it's off for like the whole copyright pirating thing. It sucks because it's a pretty cool soundtrack too. I really enjoy it, but I can't have it for videos. So not unless I want to pay a whole lot of money to Epidemic Sound. I really wish that developers would stop using services like that. I get why they do it, and you know, it's not like you guys should be making stuff for us as content creators, you know. But if you're gonna put like a streamer mode in your game, at least give me some kind of sound, you know. Like, this is just silent. All right, we'll bring this through here. Maybe I'll stick some of my copyright-free music into here. Yeah, you know what? Playing in the background right now, this is by Otis McDonald. Really great artist, really great guy. Super cool, very chill, love his vibe. I use his music for a lot of things. So I've got some Otis playing right now. Yeah, I mean, I can't hear it because I'm not actually playing it in my own ears right now, but for you, I'm sure you're vibing right now. Great. All right, let's get through this right through here. And we'll just turn on the scanner really quick so I can see things. Yeah, there we go. And we should be looking at pretty much finishing this up in like 10 seconds. All right, and like I said, most of these vehicles that we're going to do, because I'm probably going to sell like 200 vehicles plus in this playthrough, it's going to be a lot. So the overwhelming majority of them, you're not going to see this stuff. You know, you're eventually just not going to see this process. But like I said, for people who've never seen it before and want to know the game and are thinking about buying it themselves, I recommend it. I do. I'm not sponsored or anything here. This isn't a sponsored video. I did obviously get access to the DLC early, but you know, I'm not obligated to play it or anything. And I just genuinely enjoy the game. And I've actually met people in real life that did not know about me and my channel. I know, shocker, because I'm not really that popular. But they are one of my son's friends. Their dad, I got to meet him and was talking to him while my son and his friend were at a trampoline park. And he was telling me that he loves Car Dealer Simulator and he's been playing it a lot. And I was just kind of like, whoa, that's a small world thing. Because I just so happen to have also been playing it, you know? That's like, I mean, it's like, you know, you meet people who play Fortnite and you're like, yeah, of course you do. Right? You meet the people who are like in the Call of Duty and, you know, the League of Legends players or people who play Minecraft. And it's like, of course you do. Because like everybody under the sun is known of these games. But then you meet someone somewhat randomly and they say that they've been playing a lot of Car Dealer Simulator. It's just a different thing, you know. It just feels, yeah, that just feels like, wow, how did that happen, you know? Because I didn't think this game was that out there, but yeah, it is. It just randomly happened. It did. All right, let me see the value of this thing. So it says the market value of this truck is $86.85. $86.85, huh? I'm gonna get 12 grand for it. You know, maybe 13. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna go ahead and sell it now. Oh, I don't have any pictures. That's gonna be a problem. You gotta have pictures, Charlie. What are you doing? I used to work at a car dealership. No, yeah. Well, did you ever sell a car without having pictures of it first? Actually, yes. Plenty of times we did sell cars without pictures of them because they were cars that we knew customers already wanted. We had, customers would call us and say, "Hey, I'm looking for this kind of car. I'm looking for this. Do you have this?" And then we would find it. We don't need pictures of it because they already know they want it. And guess what? That function is in this game too. They brought that over too, or they made that happen too. So it's really cool, really, really cool. I'm just gonna hit the upgrade screen so this thing will stop yelling at me for the story, and it says it wants me to upgrade the office to level 2, which I will do. But first, let's make the ad. There's my pictures. Okay, so it says its value is 9175 because having even tire pressure being good is a 3% bonus. I don't know about that. Either way, I'm gonna put this pretty aggressive. Let's go like 14k. Let's see if we can get 14 for that. Okay, and then instead of upgrading the office, unless it's cheap, what's it cost? Office. It's level 2. It's $3,000. That's not a big deal. We could do that. And this gets the office and the mechanical station cleaned up. That's fine. If it progresses the game a little bit, I'll do that. Okay. Kid, I forgot to tell you, let's check the workshop. I left you a tool there that might come in handy for odometers. Just don't brag around town about what you're doing with it. Right. Yes, of course. The odometer, rolling back the odometers. Not something I personally have any experience with. But if I can roll back the odometer on this truck, I can sell it for more. So why don't we go ahead and just, remove the listing. We're going to edit the listing later, but I'm just going to remove it for now so that I can edit the vehicle. Because otherwise I can't really do much for editing it. And we're going to see if the odometer manipulator has changed at all. To reset, hold space and left mouse button, press E, aiming at the door, odometer. Okay, so I'm just going to see whether or not this has changed at all. Let's use this. And if I was to try to address maybe this digit, that's actually not doing much at all. Let's adjust this one. There we go. That'll have a big impact. Kind of.
Hell no.
Okay, we want to come back this way. So I remember this thing, the needle would get really slow and then it would go bang. So if I see like that, right? So I just kind of you get a feel for it. I think that's probably good enough because if you go too far, then you break it and then everything is ruined. But now we have 237,000 miles. Maybe we actually took a lot of miles off that car by doing that. Wink, wink. Yeah, we totally just went back in time with that truck. So now I can sell that truck for how much? I know, shady dealership things. Now its market value is 10,000 something. So now I can get maybe almost 16,000 for it. Hey, let's put that in there. Okay, let's look for different vehicles. So again, I want poor visual condition. It makes things easier for me, and I think I can get some pretty good value out of this Pulse. They want 57.50 for it. See what we can find there. And I also want to make contact, I think, with another Vanguard, maybe. Yeah, there's a lot of miles. This one here is... It's interesting. Like this one is basically the same price, but this one has way more miles. So I think this is the one I want to go for. All right. So we'll have those two cars queued up. And I have somebody interested in that truck. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Hi. Yeah, you're going to offer me 8,900. That's interesting, but I'm not really willing to budge that far. How about 14.5? Yes, I see. Okay, 13. I think I'm going to reject your offer. Goodbye. Okay, so let's see 200 and something that direction right now. This is the bad part about selling my truck is I got to hoof it to these cars, but it's okay. They're drivable vehicles. So I'm going to take the first one. I'm going to buy it. Then I'm going to grab the trailer and I can go pick up the other one. Right. And everything will be okay. I could have just delisted the truck, but Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good with walking through Winston Springs one time or two. You know, it's gonna be fine. We just want to check out the town. We want to get a feel for how things are. Yeah. Haven't been here in a long time. Really do wish though that there was some music when in streamer mode. Man, that'd be great. Okay, so this vehicle here. Let's get a quick look at the scan. And this vehicle's market value is just under 6,000. So based on that, what do you want for it? You're almost asking for basically the market price. I'm going to try to lowball you at 4,600. All right, she's down to 5 already. That's cool. How about this? Wow. Yeah, accept. Cool. That works for me. Let's go see about buying the other one. And then we can just pick it up later. It's fine. Okay, so you... again, let's examine the car first so we kind of get a feel for what the market value is in its current condition. It doesn't need a lot of work, to be honest. 4,900 is what the market value currently is. They want 45 to start. That's cool. How about 32? Okay, I went... So if you go too aggressive, then they laugh at you and they keep their price and you basically lose one of your chances. So can't be too aggressive. Let's try 37. Okay, now they're down to 42. Let's go like this. That's the last chance. I'll take 4,200. It's fine. Yeah. 4,200 is cool. All right, so I have to obviously pick that up or pick this one up. I don't really know which one has more horsepower. I want to say they probably are the same. So I'm going to leave that car in that person's driveway. Then I'm going to go get the trailer, use this one to bring that one back. And then overnight, I can just work on these cars, right? We can work on cleaning them up, getting their rust off of them, paint, etc., doing all that stuff overnight. And then in the morning, I will have all of them listed for sale. Yeah. So you've already seen that part. So I'm just going to go ahead and zip you ahead to where we have that kind of setup done for a second. Again, I'm not going to skip all of them, but I will skip a lot of them. Trying to speed up the video. I want to get to the part where we have new stuff, right? So I'll see you guys in a second.
Kid, almost forgot to tell you. There's an app on your PC for paying the bills.
Oh.
I might be the owner, but right now, you're the one taking care of things just fine.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and while you're at it, don't forget about your old pal Sam, huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah, there's that. So I don't know if that's required yet. Last time we played, they actually didn't make you pay the bills. Like, the debt piled up, but there really was no consequence for not paying them. So I'm wondering if that's changed, because... I mean, I hope it's changed. I think we pretty much always paid the bills last time. I think we just went with it, right? I think we were always doing it anyway, but I don't know if that's still an optional thing. I hope it's not. Anyway, so I've done all the rust stuff for both of these vehicles now, but if I take a look at the car scanner, this one has a hole in the exhaust. So... we can go into the repair screen here and try to find that, because that will help my value as well. And if we can't find it like this, then we need to rotate until we can. Yeah, there it is. So we'll just patch that up. That takes care of the hole, and now we should see the value go up, but also the fact that it no longer has a hole. So that's pretty good. So for now, that car is basically done. I've already washed it and it's mechanically sound now. And all the rust is off of it now. So we can... ideally, I would take pictures of these things in the daytime. But since this game doesn't care at the moment, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And it's only going to get 2 points. Interesting. There we go. And then over here on this side, all points done. So we'll have 3 photos of that one, I guess. That's fine. And then I still have to wash this one, and I didn't actually check to see whether or not it had holes in its exhaust. I probably should have looked at that. It has 2 of them, so I need to go back into mechanical with this one anyway. But I'm going to, obviously wash it in place for now, because it can use that wash as well. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, more properly staging this one, just so I have better pictures this time. There we go. Okay, sounds good. And then we'll get this one into the lot space as well. And of course, before we actually list it for sale... we gotta do the thing, right? We gotta do the thing. So when they have fewer miles to work with, this thing is not quite as impactful. right? Because I think it's mostly like a percentage thing. Paying attention to the needle. Okay, that one's probably the best I can get there, and then we go down to, let's say, 4,800. 48,000, right? I had a problem reading this last time too, because I was always like thinking this was a 1/10 of a mile thing, but I don't think this is actually doing that. So yeah, anyway, that's rolled back, and then I didn't roll this one back yet either. So let's do this, and maybe I can get 10 out of it. No, definitely not. I didn't think so. We can get it this way though, I think. That's good. And then pretty close to getting 10,000 miles off of it. Okay, that's good. All right, so those two cars photographed, ready to go for sale. Let's see what they are worth. Also have an unread email. Probably should look at that too. I'll do it after I've got the ad done. So the silver car outside with my nighttime photos. Gross, would never do that. We're going to bring that. It's at $6,000 value now. We're going to get a little more aggressive and go like 9,500 for that one. We'll be cheeky with it, right? Good old American cheekiness there. There we go. And then we'll say the NGD with its photos. I had to take multiple photos. That's fine. And we'll go, let's say, 11,499. Okay. So very aggressive with my pricing on those, right? But the thing is, if I don't sell any tomorrow, then I don't have any money to buy more inventory. So I probably can't be too aggressive with them because I don't have anything to work on right now. Maybe we get one that sells quicker so that we can get maybe 2 cars. Let's be a little less aggressive with the striker. Let's adjust that to be more like here. Just so we can maybe have a better chance of selling it faster. And then we have an upgrade to our gas pump hub we can do right now if we want to for $10,000. But this gives us an underground fuel tank, fuel dispenser, and a fuel check room so that I don't have to go to the gas station to refuel all my cars. Is there a value in the amount of fuel that's in a tank? Did they add that? So if I scan this car, I see battery, fuses, rear suspension, fuel consumption low, fuel tank 8 out of 12 gallons. I mean, it's showing this stuff, but I don't know if that stuff has a value for, selling it. That is interesting, though. We'll have to take a look at that. So this is a start to a new playthrough for Car Dealer Simulator, huh? And we're going to have Up To You DLC. That's going to start really taking place and really starting to get to see a lot of those customizations and stuff when we get to Reputation 10, which if we keep pushing, I think we can reach probably, very, very soon. Maybe only a couple videos, maybe. Well, we'll see. But I need to go and do the unread email. We're going to have people making us offers. People are going to start coming in to try to sell me their car. And we just have to make sure that we're scanning it and we understand the value of these cars before we commit to it. When people come in looking to sell their car to you, they are not looking to negotiate. So they want their price. And you have to decide whether that's a good deal for you or not. It's interesting. I want to take a look at all the new features. Lots of them to come. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you. We'll hopefully see you in the next one. Goodbye.